Hey everybody, I'm Chris Mutuk, your lifestyle coordinator here at the Overture in Virginia Beach. Today's topic, we're going to talk about summertime blues, bugs, and allergies. So ouches, itches, coughs, and sneezes. So all are, the results of the hazards of summer. So the more time we spend outdoors, the more we are exposed to unwelcome attention from things that bite, sting, or trigger allergies. So we're going to start with some familiar bugs that can lead to some of these summertime blues. So let's go, for instance, bees, right? What to know about bees, right? So at the very least, bee stings are really painful, but they may be even life-threatening for those with allergic reactions to them, right? So the almost 20,000 known species of bees in the world. The ones most known for their stings include honeybees, bumblebees, wasps, hornets, and yellow jackets. So interestingly enough, males of the bee species are not able to sting. And honeybees are the only ones that die immediately after stinging. So bees make their appearances in spring, are most active in summer, and begin to retreat to their hives in the fall to prepare for winter. Bees are critically important to our ecosystem because of their role in the pollination of flowers, trees, and other vegetation. Honeybees produce a valued food source for both humans and animals. Unfortunately, bee populations are in decline, and bees are increasingly in need of our protection. And how to prevent. So because of the important work of bees, we want them to go about their work while we avoid being stung in the process. So here's some of the guidelines to follow. So don't smell like a flower, avoid wearing perfume or cologne or hairspray when outdoors, don't look like a flower, avoid wearing brightly colored clothing or floral prints while outdoors. Avoid sugary foods and drinks such as sodas or ripe fruit when outdoors. Wasps in particular will aggressively try to share your meal. So avoid walking barefoot outdoors. If you step on a bee, it will sting you in self-defense, most likely. So avoid wearing loose-fitting pants or shirts. If a bee gets trapped inside, you will most likely be stung trying to get it out. So always keep your car windows rolled up as much as possible. Bees that get inside your car are not easily removed, so if driving, pull over to the side of the road and stop before trying to remove the bee. So rinse food and drink containers before putting them in garbage cans in order to prevent bees from congregating there. So call for a professional to remove any nest around your house. Nothing angers a bee more than, when someone is trying to destroy their home. So if a bee is flying around you, you're just going to want to hold still and avoid swatting at it. I mean, that's our instinct, swatting it when like a fly is around, right? It'll only make it want to sting you even more. So blowing gently on a bee may help encourage to fly away. And how to treat stings? Well, if you develop allergic reactions, such as difficulty breathing, wheezing, dizziness, or rapid swelling of the face, lips, tongue, or throat, you're most likely going to need immediate emergency medical care. So people who are people with known bee stings, sting allergies, generally have an epinephrine pen, or they call it EpiPen, readily available. So if you're not allergic, here's some helpful measures to take. If you're stung on a hand, remove any rings or bracelets as swelling may occur. Remove the stinger within 30 seconds to prevent any further venom from being injected. Gently scrape the stinger away instead of pulling it out, as that will only release more venom. Wash the area with soap and water, and then apply an antiseptic followed by a soothing ointment such as hydrocortisone cream or calamine lotion. If swelling occurs, apply ice or a cold compress to the area, and then an antihistamine such as Benadryl or relievers such as ibuprofen or acetaminophen may help with comfort unless contraindicated. So let's move on down to our spider category. What to know about them, right? There are about 40,000 or more species of spiders worldwide. So although most spiders have fangs that inject venom, only a few produce a poison that is harmful to people. However, there's a select group that does and should be avoided at all costs. So they include the brown recluse, black widow, the hobo, the tarantula, and the Brazilian wandering spider. All have venomous bites that cause serious local reaction and, in some cases, life-threatening systemic symptoms. Here's some of the things to look when indicating the necessity of medical intervention for these. So a local reaction that keeps getting worse in more than 24 hours, redness spreading away from the bite, or discoloration around the bite, or numbness of tingling, symptoms such as sweating, chills, body aches, headaches, rapid pulse, weakness, stomach, or leg cramps. So, and also a black widow bite, which presents with 2 red fang marks, a brown recluse spider bite, which blisters and causes a necrotic area around the bite to form. How to prevent these things? Well, we may encounter spiders both inside our homes and when outdoors as well, especially in the summer months. So for the most part, spiders want nothing to do with us and will stay out of our way at all costs. But here are some ways to avoid up and close and personal encounters with spiders. Check for spider webs around your house, particularly in the attic, basement, and garage, and remove them. Keep firewood outside and use gloves when bringing logs in to burn. Spiders like to build webs in wood piles, just to keep that in mind. When in wooded area, wear long sleeve pants and shirts and gloves. When spending time outdoors, apply insect repellent. Most sources recommend using insect repellents that use the ingredient called DEET, D-E-E-T. And how to treat a spider bite? Well, most spider bites are uncomfortable, but not dangerous. They look similar to other insect bites, so unless you catch the spider in the act, you may not know for certain that you have been bitten by a spider. So for non-dangerous spider bites, here are some helpful measures to take. Clean the area with soap and water. Keep the area elevated to help reduce swelling. Take an antihistamine, such as Benadryl, if not contraindicated. Now we move down to mosquitoes, these known insects right here. So if there were an FBI list of the most dangerous insects, mosquitoes will be number 1 on the list. So there are 2,500 species found around the world, except Iceland, which is reportedly mosquito-free. So, note to self, if you want to be away from mosquitoes, Iceland is the way to go. So mosquitoes prefer stagnant water in which to lay their eggs, and most often found around ponds, swamps, marshlands, and other wetlands. Female mosquitoes are the only ones that bite, as they can do so multiple times per victim. If you ever question why we are such easy targets for mosquito bites, the answer is they smell our breath. Ooh, yeah. The receptors on their antenna are able to detect the carbon dioxide we exhale. In addition, 320 chemical odors produced by our skin are irresistible to these tiny assassins. So, and if there's not enough to lead them straight to us, they also have heat sensors around their mouths that detect body heat and the blood in our veins. Because mosquitoes are cold-blooded, they prefer temperatures over 80 degrees Fahrenheit and shut down when temperatures fall below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So the lifespan of an adult mosquito varies. Some only live in summer and die in winter, but their eggs survive to hatch in the spring. Some hibernate through the winter and live into spring. How to prevent these things? So almost everyone has the first-hand knowledge of how itchy and bothersome mosquito bites are. So avoiding exposure to mosquitoes is the only way to help ensure a healthy and comfortable summer. So here's some of the measures that you could take. So avoid places where standing water is located. If you have empty buckets, wheelbarrows, or other things that have collected water in the yard, dump it out. So if you're traveling out of the country, do some research to see if your destination is considered a hotspot for mosquitoes and the diseases they produce. Mosquitoes are attracted to dark colors, so wearing neutral or pastel colored clothing is one way to discourage their attention. Spray yourself with insect repellent before venturing outdoors, especially at dusk or dawn, which are prime times for these mosquitoes. So wear long pants and a long sleeve shirt when outdoors. If an area prone to mosquitoes, use a mosquito net around your bed at night and make sure screens and windows are mosquito proof. Use fans to circulate air. Mosquitoes are not strong flyers, and their air current can help keep them away. Burn citronella candles when outdoors. Mosquitoes and other insects don't like the smell, so they avoid it. And how to treat these bad boys? So more than anything, mosquito bites are annoying, right? So while the bites are hard to avoid, the way we handle the bites may determine how much we suffer from them in the long run. So here's some ways you could do. So this might be the hardest thing to do. Don't scratch the bite. It just irritates the skin and can lead to an infection. Think about that too as well. Clean the area with soap and water. The old standby calamine lotion is generally found to be soothing. A paste made of baking soda has also proven helpful as well. Apply hydrocortisone cream to the bite unless contraindicated. Apply an ice pack or cold compress as well. So here's an unusual recommendation, but would be interesting to try. Heat up a spoon, not so hot it burns, right? And apply the back of the spoon to the bite. The heat apparently destroys the protein that causes the reaction to stopping the itching. Moving down to our other insect called chiggers, Chiggers. What to know about them? So chiggers, sometimes called red bugs, are tiny members of the arachnid family, and their larval stage, which when they attach to an unsuspecting host. So they are so small as to be nearly microscopic in size. So despite their minute size, their bites present big problems. They live in grass, weeds, berry patches, and wooded areas. Most people do not realize they have taken on these unwanted passengers until the bites begin to itch sometime later. Chiggers can remain attached without detection for up to 4 days, happily feeding away. Despite this, they are not good at biting and do best with thin skin. Because of this fact, women and children are bitten more often than men are. Chiggers are most active during spring, summer, and fall afternoons. So they become inactive when temperatures fall below 60 degrees Fahrenheit and die off when temperatures are below 42 degrees Fahrenheit. How to prevent these bad boys? Chiggers are most noticeable during the summer months, right? Here's some precautions to take to steer clear of these. When hiking, stay in the center of the path and avoid brushing up against vegetation. Don't roll around in the grass because chiggers like to feast on animals such as animals as much as humans. Make sure, if you have dogs or cats, that that they don't roll around on the grass and whatnot. Chiggers apparently love fruit, especially blackberries and raspberries. So exercise caution when berry picking. Wear long sleeves and long pants and tucked into your socks. Apply insect repellent before going outdoors. Shower when you get home and wash your clothes in hot water. How to treat? Trigger bites can take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to heal, and they are very itchy. So here's some of what you can do to take care of them. Don't scratch it. You don't want to cause the bite again to be infected. Showering is important. It's also an important treatment measure. Triggers do not burrow under the skin, so they can easily be removed when with a shower and lots of sudsy soap and water. So also take one when you get home after being outdoors as a precaution. Apply antiseptic to clean the bites. Apply medication to reduce the itching, such as hydrocortisone cream or calamine lotion. Applying ice also helps out with the bite as well. Now let's move down to our ticks. What to know about them? So ticks are these blood-sucking parasites from also the arachnid family. There are about 850 species of ticks around the world, and 90 of them are found here in the United States. About 40 types of ticks are found in Canada. They live primarily in wooded grassy areas and in shrubs and leaf litter. They can't jump or fly, so they can lie in wait for an unsuspecting host to walk by. They burrow under the skin of mammals, birds, and even the occasional reptile or amphibian. Ticks pose a big threat to both humans and their pets during the spring and summer months that can be active anytime temperatures are above freezing. In winter, they become dormant or survive by attaching themselves to a host. So many species of ticks transmit a number of diseases to both animals and people. Two of the more common ones are your Rocky Mountain spotted fever, transmitted by the Rocky Mountain wood tick, American dog tick, and brown dog tick, and Lyme disease, transmitted by the deer tick. So how to prevent? The best defense against these debilitating diseases carried by ticks is to avoid the many beasts that carry them in the first place. So here's some tactics you can adopt to protect yourself. Wear long pants. Again, wear long pants tucked into your socks and long sleeve shirts when you're outdoors, especially in grassy or wooded areas. Wear a hat to cover your hair. Wearing a light colored clothing make it easier to spot, so it's easy to spot these ticks. Carefully check yourself, your children, and your pets after being outdoors. Remember, a tick can be as small as poppy seeds and can be anywhere on the body. They love places that are warm and dark, and be sure to especially check hair behind ears and between joints. Spray yourself with insect repellent. Remove the tick as soon as possible when you see it. And it will fall off on its own when engorged, but no longer it remains attached, the more opportunity it will have for transmitting diseases. The recommended way to remove a tick is to grasp it with tweezers as close to the skin as possible. Pull upward with a steady, continuous movement. After removal, clean the area with soap and water and apply an antiseptic such as rubbing alcohol. If possible, put a tick in a sealed plastic bag. Sometimes the ticks themselves are tested for diseases. It also helps identify the type of tick that bit you as well. How to treat both Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lyme disease require medical intervention and treatment. Early detection is critical for tick bites. Rocky Mountain spotted fever symptoms include fever, rash, often not appearing until later in the illness, headache, nausea, and vomiting, muscle pain, and lack of appetite. It can be life-threatening if not treated. The antibiotic doxycycline, hope I said that right, is the recommended treatment, and early treatment can prevent serious illness or death. Lyme disease is the most common vector-borne disease in the United States and is becoming more common in Canada. Symptoms can include a bull's eye rash, fever, headache, and fatigue. If treated early with antibiotics, including the amoxicillin or sulfasalazine, the most people recover completely. However, if diagnosis and treatment is not initiated early, or the person does not respond to treatment, serious long-term effects can occur. All right. And then let's move down to our allergies. Let's step away from the bug world for now and get into our allergies. So what to know about allergies? If the bugs don't get us with their stings and bites, then seasonal allergies probably will, right? Pollens and molds are common summer airborne allergy producers. Skin allergies from the poisons, like you have your ivy, oak, and sumac, are also out there, just waiting to make us miserable, right? So pollen's primarily produced by trees, flowers, weeds, and grasses. The pollen generated by trees, most prevalent in spring, has subsided by summer. Weeds and grasses, however, are their peaks, with ragweed, arguably the biggest weed offender, and rye, the biggest allergy producer. Other weeds producing allergies include cockle weed, pigweed, and sagebrush. While grasses include Bermuda, bluegrass, orchard, redtop, and timothy, not to be overlooked are dust mites and molds that thrive in warm, humid temperatures and nest in our beds, carpets, and fabrics. Not a comforting thought, right? So symptoms of airborne summer allergies include, of course, your runny or stuffy noses and congested sinuses, watering, bloodshot, and itchy eyes, coughing and sneezing, headaches, overall fatigues. One of the most uncomfortable hazards of summer is the itchy, oozing skin rash that can occur after exposure to poison ivy, poison oak, and the less common poison sumac. It's estimated about 85% of the population is allergic to one or all of them, with 10 to 15% being extremely allergic. So the reason they cause so much discomfort is the urushiol, which is an oil contained in the leaves, stems, and roots of the plants. So there are 3 ways you can come in contact with urushiol. Direct contact with the leaves, stems, roots, or berries of the plant, touching contaminated objects. For instance, if you get urushiol on your hands and then touch your shoes, you can spread it to other parts of your body after subsequently touching your shoes. If the contaminated item is not cleaned well, it can still cause a skin reaction, even when touched years later. Another way to get infected is by petting your dog or cat after they have been exposed to the plant oil. Inhaling the smoke from burning the plants, this is very dangerous, as the nasal passages, throat, and lungs can be affected. Suffice it to say, never get rid of these plants by burning them. Not a good thing to do. So don't do it. So how to prevent? Allergic reactions are often avoidable. You can help your chances by following some of the advice. Know what you are allergic to so you can take preventive measures. If possible, stay indoors when pollen counts are high. When pollen counts are high, keep windows and doors closed. Don't dry your clothes outside, and wear a pollen mask if you need to cut the grass. Clean air filters in your residence and workplace. Vacuum often. Keep the humidity indoors between 30 to 50%, as dust mites don't thrive in that environment. Know what the weeds and plants you are allergic to look like and avoid in contact with them. Wear protective clothing when outdoors, of course, your long sleeves and your pants, tucking them in your socks. How to treat if you're bothered by some of these allergy symptoms, see your physician or allergist for evaluation and treatment. For mild allergy symptoms, over-the-counter treatments such as antihistamines, decongestants, nasal sprays, and eye drops may be helpful. For skin rashes, soothing anti-itch topical creams and lotions may be helpful as well. Okay? And that is our summertime blues for bug bites and allergies. And when you're going out there, take proper measures. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. Hope you all have a great day.